Tangu mwishoni mwa mwaka jana, homa ya virusi vya korona yaani COVID-19 imeibuka kuwa tisho kubwa la kiafya. Maambukizi ya homa hii yameenea ulimwenguni kote, wala hakuna aliye salama. Serikali kupitia idara ya afya imeweka mikakati, miongoni mwao ikiwa uchunguzi wa homa ya korona miongoni mwa wasafiri katika mipaka yake yote kote nchini.
I'm very happy about the screenings that are going on in Tanzania and Kenya. I think it's very proactive that you're thinking about stopping it at the border so that it does not spread.
Inatisha kufikiri kukohoa tu kidogo kwa mazingira haya unaweza sababisha mlipuko wa homa hii usio na kifani. Ili kuzuia haya, serikali imeweka mikakati tosha kuhakikisha usalama wa Kenya wote.
The facility has all the equipments you need from handling a basic patient up to ICU setting.
Hata hivyo, wewe pia unalo jukumu katika kusaidia kuzuia kuenea kwa maambukizi.
Citizen responsibility is the key to the success of this initiative and these measures. Let's all do what we have to do individually. And this is how we are going to defeat this disease.
It's just our general hygiene, okay? And that now means at workplaces, we should ensure that our work surfaces are clean.
Always ensure that nimefanya proper sanitation ya mikono. Every time na board matatu, lazima ni sanitize mikono.
Sisi kama taifa tumepata kukumbana na changamoto nyingi na kali maishani, na kila wakati tumeibuka washindi. Hii homa ya COVID-19 hata kama inatisha, si tofauti nazo. Komesha korona, zingatia maagizo kutoka Wizara ya Afya, nawa mikono jinsi inavyostahili.
Hello, welcome to E-Magazine. I'm your host, Brendan Emichaba. Now, it's a true fact that COVID-19 pandemic has affected the world globally, especially economically. And a lot of industries are facing a lot of crisis due to this. Now, today in E-Magazine, we're exploring the event management industry, and just to see what exactly event managers are doing right now to fare on during this pandemic. Now, joining me today is David Challo, who's the founder of Concepts and Events Limited, and he's going to give us a clear perspective from his side how he's dealing with the coronavirus impact on the events management industry. Thank you so much for making time to join me today, David. Hope you're doing well. I'm great myself. I just want to jump to the first question that I have for you today, and I wanted to know what would you say are some of the major financial impacts the events management industry is facing right now due to coronavirus? Okay. And what are you doing to deal with this crisis from your side? You're a founder of an events management company yourself. So what are you doing to deal with this crisis, apart obviously from, trying to take the events online? And looking where we move to a situation where we've overcome COVID-19, focusing in Kenya, would you say that there will be business for event managers right after COVID-19? Okay, and one of the major things that came with COVID-19, not only did we have to stay in the house, stay at home, there are a lot of postponing and cancellation of events globally, which has cost a lot of people money. I just wanted to know, what are some of the financial setbacks you've faced from cancelling and having to postpone some of the events that you had planned for this year? Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, you're facing this as an event manager yourself. What kind of advice would you give event managers out there within this, individuals within this industry, in order to be able to deal with this crisis? What are some of the strategies they could put in place and still be able to kind of have a business? Reports. Now, another thing that came with COVID-19 is having the travel restrictions globally, and yet we don't know if it's something that's going to be pulled out anytime soon. But when it has been pulled out, and we look at there being business starting October, especially within the events management industry, do you think these travel restrictions could affect business within that space in the long run? Lastly, the question I have for you today is, of course, something you talked about earlier, that how people are psychologically bored right now because of being in quarantine. And also another thing is there's that fear of being outside. And I do believe and feel like as a human being myself, even after COVID-19, there'll be that unwillingness to just go out to an event just like that. But from your side, do you think there'll be that consumer willingness, after this boredom to spend on events after COVID-19? Thank you so much for making time, David, to give us that perspective right there. I really appreciate it. Hope you're keeping safe yourself. That right there was David Chala giving us a perspective of how the events industry is managing right now. But we're going to take a short commercial break. Do not go anywhere because we have more in store for you. See you right after this.
You ask me what business is, I'll tell you its numbers. Profits are numbers. Losses are numbers. Sales are numbers. Everything in business is numbers. So once you begin to understand the importance of data before you make that business move, you'll fully begin to appreciate Metropol TV's database programs. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage, and this is Metropol Television.
Welcome back. Now, after having that insightful information on how the events management industry is performing, it's time for us to look at what's been happening weekly in the business entertainment scene globally. Now, who said quarantine birthdays could not be fun? Kourtney Kardashian turned 41 on Saturday, April 18th, and since we're still dealing with the whole coronavirus pandemic, it meant a birthday party was not on the cards. However, this did not stop the Kardashian family from throwing Kourtney the best quarantine birthday party. Her friends and family, including Khloe Kardashian and Kendall Jenner, organized a parade of cars outside her house featuring balloons, air horns, homemade signs, and an awful lot of cheering and loudspeaker blasting. Appropriately, that Rihanna's birthday cake, Khloe and Kendall documented the whole thing on their Instagram stories for your viewing pleasure. So you can actually go on their Instagram stories and see how exactly it went down during Kourtney's birthday. Now, next up, the coronavirus pandemic has caused Hollywood production in the northern border of the United States to come to a screeching halt in mid-March, and the economic toll from a dark soundstage and idle Canadian cast and the crew is mounting. The Canadian Media Producers Association on Tuesday released a COVID-19 impact report that estimates $1.75 billion in Hollywood production spending in Canada will be lost if the Northern American industry shutdown lasts until June 30th. And at that, lost production volume for major studios and streamers like Netflix, Disney, not shooting locally during the busy spring and the summer months has put at risk a lot of jobs of about 81,000 local cast and crew, says by a report by Nodicity for the CMPA representing indie producers. Now, last on the list, Facebook has paid $5.7 billion for a 9.6% stake in India's Reliance Jio. The social media giant announced on Tuesday the mobile telecommunications arm of conglomerate Reliance Industries. Reliance Jio was established in 2016 and has quickly established itself as a dominant player in India with over 370 million subscribers, making it the largest mobile telco in the country and the third largest in the world by subscribers. As well as rapidly spreading social media use in India, Reliance Jio's cheap payment plans have also led to an explosion of video and music streaming in the country through its products of Jio 7 and Jio TV. Now, that is what's been happening throughout the week. Thank you so much for joining me in E-Magazine today, and I'll see you next time. As for bye, it's a goodbye.
Focus of body and mind is crucial for a productive day.
Work on the obliques.
We look at trends that affect your business day.
Who has a bird's eye view of the whole economy?
These are things that the government should be able to spell out for Kenyans.
An in-depth analysis of the markets.
Markets have been very fearful.
Deploy the capital into investment opportunities.
Business headlines covered extensively.
71 years.
Inspire the whole spectrum of entrepreneurs.
I maneuvered in the harsh economies and all that.
With financial and business literacy in a language easy to understand.
At the simplest form, contracts. The creation of the human mind.
As we look at the boss lady in her element as a woman and a boss.
That women can have access.
As we journey you through farms and produce markets.
This is money.
Taking a breather and even in that, learn a thing or two.
Global map of growth rates.
Taking a look at the business of entertainment.
Movies, fashion, beauty.
Following the money in sports.
Then you widen your stance.
Before switching off our mics and let you have your say.
The economy is undergoing a serious hardship.
Looking at technology as it affects your day-to-day business.
The customer will get notification.
This is Metropol TV.
And I'm Samantha, and we're the founders of Mama Rocks. Welcome to Quick Bites.
As you've just heard, Mama Rocks is owned by Samantha and Natalie, sisters who just want you to have great food and have fun. Born and raised in the UK, Samantha and Natalie moved to Kenya 5 years ago. The birth of Mama Rocks came after realizing the gap in the food market for a company that represented the youth urban culture. After being in existence for 4 years, Mama Rocks prides itself in bringing the African-inspired gourmet burger to the vibrant city of Nairobi. Created with love and the freshest natural ingredients, their unique burgers have become famous across the city, with their signature meal being the Mango Masai Mama. And that's exactly what we shall be making on this episode of Quick Bites.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome into the kitchen. So I'm going to show you how when we make the mango Masai Mama burger.
Is that your most famous?
It's our most popular one, definitely. Yes. When the brown goes to halfway, then you know it's ready to flip. If you flip before that, it will fall apart. Okay, so we can start to toast these. So you just make sure that it's toasted so that the sauces that you use don't make the bread soggy. So this keeps everything nice and solid together. I trust you. Takes about 10 minutes to cook. Yes, because the patty is really quite thick. Yeah, so it takes some more time.
What exactly do you add in your patty?
In the patty?
To get that different taste.
Yeah. So I mean, it really starts with the beef being grass-fed, and we get it from Old Progetto Conservancy. So the cows roam freely in the wilderness, and they're very happy cows, and that's why you get the really nice tasting beef. Yeah. So really we don't have to add much to it. Okay. Just a bit of salt and pepper. We like to keep the patty quite plain, and we let the sauces do the talking. Yes, just flip it over. Yeah.
I'm ruining it.
Want me to try?
Yes, please.
Oh, maybe it wasn't quite ready.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Get out of
I broke the burger.
So we have the mango sauce.
The famous mango sauce.
Mango sauce. We get real whole mangoes, and we blend it. We make a mayonnaise out of it. So you make mayonnaise by blending it with a bit of oil and some chili powder in there as well.
It's really sweet. At the same time, it's really chilly.
Cucumbers that have been kind of marinated in vinegar, and that's the kind of the pickling process, and it preserves them, and it gives them a really unique flavour, the rest of the flavours. Okay. And then finally, some mixed salad, yes. So we start with the bun that I've toasted before. Just put a tablespoon of the mango sauce on each side. There you go.
I didn't know that when you're flipping a burger, rather flipping a burger is not that easy. I always thought it was easy. Did you see how I messed that burger up? Now, the taste of it was orgasmic. Burger that doesn't even have a lot going on, and of course we have the Thai mango sauce that is going to be in the burger as well. Allow me to devour this burger. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Welcome to another episode of Street Bishar. I'm your one and only host, Brenda Nyamichaba. Now, the Standard Chartered Bank auctioned 9 prime presidential hotel apartments in Pagoni Beach Resort, Shanzu, Mombasa, over unpaid loans. Now, the apartments are being sold for a reserve price of about 84.6 million Kenyan shillings combined, which shows the stress that different quarters of the economy went through in the year 2019. Now, this trend has been observed in many areas in the year 2019, denoting a stressed business environment throughout the year. Now, the question we're looking at today is whether you understand what auctioning is. Well, as you can see, I'm on the streets of Nairobi about to find out what exactly Kenyans have in store for me today.
Auctioning is whereby they take a stuff and maybe sell it to the highest bidder, or maybe if you haven't paid stuff or you are selling your items online, you sell it to the highest bidder or something like that.
I guess it's a term whereby it is used during business when you want to give away something in business, now you auction it for people to see.
It's a mode of selling, yes.
There is what we call creditors, and then we got the debtor. So when the debtor can't pay his own debts, then actually we take the product from him that was given as a security.
Auctioning ni kuuza mali ya wenyewe. Ni jina ya kizungu ya kusema selling. Yeah.
A situation where somebody, like a case study, somebody cannot pay his debt, so you auction his property. You collect his property, his assets, and then you sell it.
I think it's a sort of a market, I think, where people bid for items.
Mtu anaweza kuwa na deni ya mtu, akasirike hataki kulipa, akuja aseme atumie ile process inatakiwa. Ukute hata nyumba yako yote, hata vitanda, nguo za watoto, kila kitu imeuzwa. Auction.
Auctioning inamaanisha ni kunandi vitu au kuuza vitu kwa mnanda.
Auctioning is when you are unable to pay your debts and the creditors take your property to sell to recover their money.
Now, the term auctioning is something we come across quite a lot, and someone would assume they know the meaning. Now, after getting a chance to go on the streets and see what exactly you understand by the term auctioning, I got some very interesting answers from you. Now, we're back in studio and we're going to break it down for you what exactly auctioning is. And the individual joining me today is an economic expert, Samson Mundia, is joining me today in his Trip Yashara, and he's going to break it down for us so we can get to understand what is auctioning. Thank you so much for joining me on Trip Yashara.
Thank you.
Now, Samson, let's just jump right into, you breaking it down for us. What exactly is auctioning?
Yeah, auctioning is a very big term in terms of people in the streets, people in business don't even understand. So in simple terms, auction is a process of buying and selling in terms of goods and also even services, then placing them in a bid, then later in terms of taking the bid and selling the bid to the highest bidder. So that is simply what is auctioning.
Great. Now, can auctions be used as a parameter for the performance of the economy?
I would say it's a two-way answer because it's 50-50, depends. One, because at one scenario, when I say yes, you can be able, maybe the market is doing on very well. Companies can be able maybe to do in terms of auctioning, in terms of goods and services, and they sell to the highest bidder. So there, in terms of company, they're making money. At the same time, in terms of yearly turnover of a company is very high, and that translates to the economy in terms of positive sides. At the same time, sometimes no, when businesses are doing very bad, auction, somebody can be able to auction your business in terms of what you have. You are not in capability to pay maybe rent, so people might bump in the owner of the building or anybody who owes you, and they be able to auction your goods. So at that time, your business is doing bad and maybe might close the business. So it's a two-way traffic in terms of depending on what side of the coin it is.
Great, thank you for that wonderful explanation, very clear. Now there you have it, that's actually the complete definition of what auctioning is. So I do hope you got to understand what exactly that term means, because when I do come back on the streets of Nairobi to ask you what auctioning is, I do hope you'll get the right answer this time around. Now that brings us to the end of this episode of Street Biashara. Do join me on the next one. Introducing the Kusno Smart Coffee Table, a modern coffee table that elevates the traditional household furniture to new heights. This shining, futuristic and sleek coffee table serves as a refrigerator, Bluetooth sound system, party hub, wireless charging dock, and is voice activated. Let's take it away. The Kusno Smart Coffee Table has storage drawers built into its sleek design and is the perfect party companion with an automatic LED light lift-up lid that conceals a large refrigerator space for drinks, snacks, and party treats. There are 3 ways to lift up the refrigerator: voice control, a physical button, and smartphone app available on both Android and iOS. It also houses multiple Bluetooth speakers in a stereo array that can stream music from smartphones and other mobile devices. The glowing LED top can be programmed to synchronize the music for a glowing, pulsing strobe light effect for ambience. Finally, Kusno has wireless charging built in. Users can charge their phone by simply setting it down on the LED top. In addition to being a party-ready tool for homes or offices, Kusno also has the powerful Google Assistant built in. Using simple voice commands, users have access to virtually any information instantly. Enjoy Spotify or other streaming services, set calendars, control lighting and smart home features, check the weather, order food, set reminders and more. The table is available in white or black and retails at 69,900 Kenyan shillings. You can order yours at indiegogo.com. For more tech features, follow us on our social media handles at Metropol TV KE.
Experts have argued on the origin of French beans, but most agree that it originates from Central and Southern America. Going by its botanical name, Phaceolus vulgaris, the French bean was first domesticated in Peru about 6,000 years ago. It grows in the form of a bush that can reach up to 20 inches long. It flowers and produces bean pods, which are the edible part of the plant. They can be grown round the year with the aid of irrigation. There are about 130 varieties of the bean, but in Kenya, Samantha, Picasso, Buffalo, Morgan, Boston, among a few others are the varieties you will come across. French beans are propagated through seeds planted directly to the field. You will require 25 to 30 kilograms of seeds per acre. It is advised that you plant single rows, one seed per hole, spacing them at 30 by 15 centimeters. But for double rows, then the spacing becomes 60 by 30 centimeters. For easy management, plant blocks of 4 single rows or 2 double rows with a 50 centimeter path in between. French beans grow well at an altitude of 1,000 to 2,100 meters above sea level. The beans mature faster in warm regions. The ideal growing temperature range between 21 and 27 degrees centigrades. French beans require well-distributed rainfall of 900 to 1,200 millimeter per year. Excess rains and prolonged drought result in poor yield. And they grow well on well-drained